请问你有打过卡介苗疫苗吗？
有，是这个吗？
对，就是手上疤痕的那个。那你知道它是防治什么病的吗？
我认为应该是天花吧。那个叫什么？我忘了。
好像 B 型肝炎吧。
肺结核。
很棒，谢谢你。
原本我也不知道卡介苗的用途，直到我开始在中研院生化所 Dr. Lowry 的实验室实习，才了解到卡介苗在预防结核病的重要性。
Dr. Lowry, do you have a minute?
Yeah, hi Brian, how are you?
Great. I have some questions about tuberculosis.
Okay, sure.
Alright, thank you. First, I've asked many of my classmates about the BCG vaccine, and most of them don't know that it's used to prevent tuberculosis. Could you please talk about the current situation of TB and its severity?
So TB is an infectious disease. It's caused by an organism called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. There are many different types of mycobacteria. Many are pathogenic, many are not. The most famous one is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So this is a respiratory disease. It's spread by the same way that all respiratory diseases are, by infected people coughing, sneezing, or transferring fluids from them to some other patient. So we tend to think about TB being a sort of solved problem in the world, but it's really not. It's estimated that about a quarter of the world's population is infected with tuberculosis, and every year there's about 10 million new infections, and about 1.5 million people every year die from tuberculosis.
Wow, that's a lot. Fortunately, we have BCG vaccination in Taiwan to prevent TB infection. But what if someone still gets infected? Is this disease curable?
Yeah, TB is curable. The standard regimen for treating tuberculosis is a mixture of 4 different drugs. It's called a cocktail, and these all target, most of them target rather the assembly of the cell wall in the organism. So bacteria have an outside coat that helps protect them from the environment, and these antibiotics then target that part of the organism and help it prevent it from being formed. A big concern with tuberculosis now is actually there's drug resistance, and so you have strains that come out that are either resistant to one or in some cases actually all of the antibiotics that are used, and so that's a very serious concern that the health community has.
Yeah, that's what our lab is working on, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, most of what we do in the lab is focused on the disease tuberculosis. We're focused on trying to develop better antibiotics. One of the approaches is we're trying to understand how the cell wall, which I mentioned in my previous question, how that's assembled, how that bug does that. And if we know that information, then we can perhaps try to identify molecules that prevent that from happening, and those molecules would be drugs. In addition, we're interested in better diagnostics, and so part of the research in the lab is focused on trying to develop better diagnostics for TB.
It's good to know that Taiwan's health policy and academic research units have already done something about this disease. In addition, what can the general public do to help with fighting TB?
Well, as far as I know, there's the Taiwan Anti-Tuberculosis Association, which helps to promote awareness of TB and related diseases, and promotes ways that you can prevent it and also treat it. And so that's one important thing. And it's a common it's not a common disease, but it shares in common with other respiratory diseases the spread. And so if you wear a mask, take care, good hand hygiene. These sorts of things are ways that if you're sick with TB, you can actually prevent its spread.
Cool, so I think I'll go visit the association to see what I could do more about it.
You bet, okay.
Thank you for your time.
You bet, nice to talk with you.
中华民国防癆协会这个组织，或许我们年轻人不是很熟悉，但其实它在我们父母那一辈的心中一直享有盛名。台湾早期结核病猖獗，据民国37年的统计，当时死于结核病的人数约占全年死亡人数115000人的1/6。有鉴于此，蒋宋美龄女士于民国41年邀集各方贤达成立防癆协会，倡导防癆运动，并配合政府整体防癆计划，加强为结核病患服务，以增进国民健康。多年以来，防癆协会进行了以下的主要工作： 1. 国际交流合作，加入国际抗癆暨肺疾联盟； 2. 加强卫生教育，普及防癆常识，并发行防癆杂志； 3. 提供民众医疗服务，成立第一结核病防治所，今为第一胸腔病防治所。4. 提供结核病弱势病患就医补助。5. 协助培训友邦防癆工作人员于越南及蒙古地区。6. 发行防癆慈善纪念票，筹募防癆经费，并鼓励民众参与防癆活动。经过政府及医疗体系在防疫及治疗方面的努力，例如卡介苗注射，大大降低了感染及死亡人数。每年新增的结核病案例从2005年的16472人降至2018年的9179人，死亡人数也降至506人。虽然结核病的防治已经取得重大的进展，但是在患者的身心及家庭经济上都是非常沉重的负担。尤其对于贫苦的结核病患者而言，他们生活及财务压力更是格外的巨大，需要政府及社会各界人士的支援。制作这部影片的目的是想唤起大家对于结核病的重视与关心，更能对穷苦的患者家庭伸出援手。防癆协会每年都发行慈善纪念票，他们将纪念票的义卖所得作为结核病贫苦病患的就医补助，希望能让贫苦病患得到妥善的医疗照护。希望看到这支影片的朋友发挥您的爱心，购买防癆慈善纪念票，1套200元。您可以直接到中华民国防癆协会，或是透过邮政划拨来购买。另外，邮局也有代售当年发行的防癆慈善纪念票，相关资讯会放在影片下方的资讯栏内。若您想要了解更多，防癆协会的网站是 www.tb.org.tw。感谢您收看这支影片，并将影片分享出去，谢谢您。